Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a journey of controversy and creativity, as we delve into the captivating realms of the Enlightenment and the scientific revolution. Brace yourselves for a thought-provoking exploration that challenges traditional narratives and ignites the fire of intellectual discourse. If you're as captivated by the wonders of science as we are, we invite you to hit that subscribe button and become a part of our ever-growing community of curious minds. By subscribing to the Science Arena, you'll gain access to a wealth of captivating content. Don't miss out on the opportunity to be at the forefront of scientific knowledge. Subscribe now and join our community of passionate learners. The Enlightenment, a period of intellectual and philosophical enlightenment that spanned the 17th and 18th centuries, revolutionized the way we perceive the world. It was a time when reason and rationality took center stage, casting aside the shackles of blind faith and superstition. Scholars and thinkers emerged from the shadows of tradition, daring to question the established order and paving the way for a new era of knowledge and progress. At the heart of the Enlightenment beat the resounding belief in the inherent power of human reason. This intellectual and philosophical movement brought forth a wave of brilliant thinkers who dared to question the prevailing order and challenge the authority of the church and monarchies. Among them stood René Descartes, John Locke, and Immanuel Kant, whose revolutionary ideas about the nature of knowledge, individual rights, and the pursuit of truth would shape the course of history. René Descartes, a French philosopher, mathematician, and scientist, played a pivotal role in the Enlightenment with his groundbreaking work in rationalism. Descartes advocated for the primacy of reason as the foundation of knowledge. He famously declared, "Cogito, ergo sum," I think, therefore I am, emphasizing the importance of individual thought and self-awareness. By placing human reason at the forefront, Descartes challenged the authority of external institutions and invited individuals to critically examine the world around them. John Locke, an English philosopher, took the Enlightenment ideals further by exploring the concepts of individual rights and limited government. His influential works, such as Two Treatises of Government, argued that political authority should be derived from the consent of the governed. Locke championed the idea that individuals possess natural rights, including life, liberty, and property, and that governments exist to protect and uphold these rights. Immanuel Kant, a German philosopher, synthesized the ideas of his predecessors and expanded upon them in his influential work, Critique of Pure Reason. Kant emphasized the importance of individual autonomy and moral reasoning. He believed that humans have the capacity to discern universal moral principles through their rational faculties. Kant's concept of the categorical imperative urged individuals to act according to principles that could be universally applied, emphasizing the inherent dignity and rationality of all human beings. These Enlightenment thinkers collectively challenged the prevailing authority of the church and monarchies, advocating for the sovereignty of reason and the importance of individual autonomy. They sought to liberate humanity from the constraints of dogma, superstition, and arbitrary power. In their pursuit of truth, these Enlightenment thinkers sparked a philosophical and intellectual revolution that would shape the course of human history. The legacy of these thinkers endures to this day, reminding us of the transformative power of reason, individual rights, and the pursuit of truth. But the Enlightenment, like any transformative movement, was not without its controversies. As the brilliant light of reason illuminated the intellectual landscape, it also exposed the deep-rooted inequalities and injustices embedded within society. The prevailing systems of power and privilege that had long held sway were suddenly cast into sharp relief, sparking heated debates and fervent discussions about equality, human rights, and social justice. Prominent philosophers of the time, such as Voltaire, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Mary Wollstonecraft, emerged as influential voices in these critical conversations. Voltaire, a French writer and philosopher, used his sharp wit and biting satire to criticize the abuses of power and the injustices he witnessed. Through his writings, including the famous novel, Candide, he exposed the hypocrisy of the nobility and religious intolerance, advocating for freedom of thought, religious tolerance, and the importance of civil liberties. Voltaire's relentless pursuit of truth and his unwavering commitment to justice made him a powerful advocate for reform and a champion of individual rights. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a Genevan philosopher and writer, examined the nature of society and its impact on human beings. His influential work, The Social Contract, explored the concept of a social compact, where individuals willingly come together to form a just and harmonious society. Rousseau argued for the inherent equality of all individuals and criticized the stark divisions of wealth and power that perpetuated social inequality. His ideas laid the groundwork for democratic principles, emphasizing the importance of popular sovereignty and the collective pursuit of the common good. Mary Wollstonecraft, an English writer and philosopher, made a profound impact on feminist thought during the Enlightenment. In her seminal work, A Vindication of the Rights of Woman, Wollstonecraft passionately argued for the equal education and rights of women. She challenged the prevailing notion that women were intellectually inferior and advocated for their active participation in society. Wollstonecraft's groundbreaking ideas paved the way for the feminist movement, inspiring generations of women to fight for their rights and challenge societal norms. These philosophers, among many others, bravely confronted the inequalities and injustices of their time. They fearlessly questioned the entrenched systems of power and privilege, demanding a more just and inclusive society. Their ideas ignited a flame of social consciousness that continues to burn brightly today, inspiring ongoing struggles for equality and social justice. The scientific revolution, which unfolded during the same period, went hand in hand with the Enlightenment. It was a time of remarkable discoveries and paradigm shifts that transformed our understanding of the natural world. Visionaries like Nicolaus Copernicus, Galileo Galilei, and Isaac Newton overturned long-held beliefs, replacing them with empirical evidence and rigorous scientific methods. Isaac Newton, a towering figure in the history of science, made groundbreaking contributions that forever transformed our understanding of the physical world. Born in 1643 in Woolsthorpe, England, Newton's intellectual brilliance and insatiable curiosity set him on a path of discovery that would revolutionize physics and mathematics. Newton's most famous work, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, published in 1687, laid the foundation for classical mechanics and introduced his three laws of motion. These laws, known as Newton's laws, provided a unified framework for understanding the motion of objects and the forces acting upon them. With his laws, Newton unraveled the mysteries of gravity, demonstrating that it is the force responsible for both the motion of celestial bodies and the falling of an apple from a tree. The concept of universal gravitation, a cornerstone of Newton's work, brought together the realms of astronomy and physics. By postulating that every particle of matter attracts every other particle with a force proportional to their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, Newton provided a mathematical framework that could explain the motion of the planets, the tides, and other celestial phenomena. His mathematical equations allowed scientists to calculate the trajectories of planets, comets, and other celestial bodies with remarkable precision. Newton's discoveries were not limited to celestial mechanics. He also made significant advancements in optics. Through his experiments with light, Newton showed that white light is composed of a spectrum of colors and that each color represents a different wavelength. He invented the reflecting telescope, which utilized mirrors instead of lenses to capture and focus light, overcoming some of the limitations of traditional refracting telescopes. Newton's insights into optics laid the foundation for the field of spectroscopy and paved the way for future breakthroughs in understanding the nature of light. Newton's contributions extended beyond his scientific achievements. He developed calculus as a powerful mathematical tool to solve complex problems involving rates of change, becoming one of the co-creators of this fundamental branch of mathematics. His work on the laws of motion and calculus provided a solid foundation for the scientific revolution of the 17th and 18th centuries and laid the groundwork for the development of modern physics. However, Newton's genius was not without controversy and complexities. Despite his immense contributions, he had a reputation for being a difficult and sometimes contentious figure. He was known to fiercely guard his intellectual property and engage in disputes with other scientists, most notably with German mathematician and philosopher Gottfried Leibniz over the invention of calculus. Yet, Newton's impact on science and human understanding cannot be overstated. His laws of motion and theory of gravity provided a revolutionary framework that explained the motion of objects on Earth and in the cosmos. Newton's work laid the groundwork for future generations of scientists, inspiring further exploration and discovery. His profound influence can be seen in the subsequent development of physics, engineering, and astronomy, shaping our understanding of the universe and our technological advancements. The Enlightenment and the scientific revolution were not isolated events but interconnected movements that challenged the foundations of society. They sparked a revolution of thought, ushering in a new era of intellectual freedom, scientific inquiry, and the pursuit of truth. So, my fellow seekers of knowledge, I invite you to join the science arena in our quest to unravel the complexities of the Enlightenment and the scientific revolution. Engage in lively discussions, challenge conventional wisdom, and expand your intellectual horizons. Together, Let us embark on a journey that embraces controversy, creativity, and the unquenchable thirst for understanding. Don't forget to like this video, leave your comments, and subscribe to our channel to stay connected with our ever-growing community of curious minds. By subscribing, you'll gain access to a wealth of captivating content, from thought-provoking discussions to awe-inspiring experiments. Thank you for joining us in the science arena.